The 38th parallel, a line crossing 160 miles, dividing two nations. To its north, an oppressive communist government, and to the south, a thriving, free people. The stark differences can even be seen at night. A carefully guarded line, only to be broken by force. Such a move would be an act of war, as history reminds us. On June 25, 1950, without warning, 75,000 communist troops from the north invaded the Republic of the South.
An act of aggression such as this creates a very real danger to the security of all free nations. This challenge has been presented squarely. We must meet it squarely.
The following month, the United States, leading a UN coalition, would come to South Korea's aid, and with them, Hazard, Kentucky native Hyram Baker.
I remember it breaking out, and they announced it in the company. I enlisted when I was 17. My mom signed them. I guess I didn't want to go to school, so I decided I'd go with the Army. I never thought about the war. You know, they just got out of World War II.
Baker, barely old enough to drive a car, now finds himself behind the wheel of a tank.
C Company of the 73rd Tank Battalion. Well, let's support the infantry with them big guns. You got a driver, assistant driver, a gunner, and a loader, and the tank commander. I was a gunner. I fought a machine gun and the big gun. We unloaded in Pusan, and the next morning, they called it the bowling alley. We started up the bowling alley. That's where they was coming down into Pusan. They was going to take the Pusan perimeter, is what they was going to do. And so that was my first battle. We was in there for, I don't know, several weeks, I guess.
Hyram Baker, now a veteran of war.
I guess scared to death, I don't know. You can hear them bullets hitting your tank, ricocheting off the tank. You can tell just about the size of the caliber of the gun when it hits it. You can tell when a 40 millimeter hit it. Man, it really wrong. It deepened you. And all you done just sit there and squeeze waiting for them to hit you with one of them 88s. Them 88s would penetrate that 6 inches of armor. I thank God today for my platoon sergeant. He'd been around a while. He'd been in the Army a long time. And he told me, he said, now I'm gonna tell you one thing. He says, you got one choice. He says, either you kill them or they kill you. He said, now that's it.
And that's what they did, battle after battle.
But in most cases, you was stationary, waiting on him to show up. And when he showed up, you busted his hull before he had a chance to bust yours. I knocked out 11 tanks by the time I was in the war. You had sights on it inside, and had a handle here that you turned to put it where you wanted, up and down, left or right, any way you wanted it. Oh, it was no trouble. You could kill a bird at 500 yards.
Sergeant Baker not only proved himself as a gunner, but as a rifleman.
Snipers was bad in Korea. Of course, I was young then, didn't really much care. I had a carbine that I had sitting, hanging on the side of my turret of my tank. I used to take that and have the hatch open, and you could see them snipers way over there in the tree. Used to like to shoot them out in trees. I made the invasion at Incheon.
In all, Hyram Baker would fight in 6 battles, many lasting for weeks at a time.
It lasted and lasted and lasted. It was a rough 13, 14 months.
One of his most memorable happened in the push north by the Allies.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to say, when I get mad, I say, man, I wish I was in China. I don't say that no more. We done went through all of North Korea. We was wiping them out, buddy. We kept on pushing them right into China, and that's when China turned their army loose on us.
It came at a heavy price. Thousands were killed in the ambush.
At least 10, 20 to 1. They turned everything loose they had on us. I don't know if they was doped up or what it was, but man, they was crazy. They didn't stop for nothing. Only one thing stopped them: kill them. I have sat and shot them with a machine gun and piled them up. And they just keep coming. Thousands. Every time that big gun went off, 15 to 20. They pushed us right out in the ocean, and we had to load our tanks on LSTs and get out there.
Death was everywhere, including one of his own.
I had one lieutenant get shot right there. Right through this ear, all the way through his head and skin this ear when he come out this side. He fell right down on my back. It's a bad thing of warriors. They weren't a soldier there wanting to be there on either side, I don't think. That's all a war is. A war ain't there because you want to be. A war is there because you have to be.
After 13 months and 21 days, the fight was over for Hyram Baker, but the war would go on for another 2 years. Though considered a short conflict, millions of people died as a result of the war, including tens of thousands of Americans.
You stop back and think, sure, God was watching over you, or you'd have never made it. Only by God's grace I'm here.
In the end, the 38th parallel would remain a dividing line between freedom and oppression, and the Korean War would become known to some as the Forgotten War.
Now, I don't think there are such a thing as a forgotten war, because we haven't had a war that we haven't lost some of our boys in. And anytime we lose some of our boys, I don't think it should be forgotten.